Hi Buttercup, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a writing tips and tricks video all about the 5 ways that I've come up with to write productively with ADD or ADHD. I have ADD, and just a note, this works if you're medicated or not medicated. I'm not medicated. Did you know that? Did you guess? Yeah, there's some signs that I'm not, but either way, it is fine to do any or all of these if you're on medication for your ADD or ADHD or not, doesn't matter. Now, the first way to rock it out with writing an ADD or ADHD is what I've figured out on my own. I haven't seen other people say this, so I'm going to give myself props. I'm the MVP of this idea. I can't copyright it or trademark it, but I'm putting it out there. Pull up the document on your laptop or computer and keep it up all day. All day, every day. And that's where you can go back and forth writing and doing other things. So I will write for, let's say, 20 minutes, and then I'm like, ooh, I need to go change the laundry. So I go do that and then put around because that's my life. And then I come back and no, I want to watch a YouTube video. And so I do that. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I want to write. And so then I write for 35 minutes. And then I go and I'm like, oh, wow, I want to play around on Canva because that's my life. And then we're gonna go back and we only write for 5 minutes, but that's totally okay because at the end of the day, I've written 1,000 words, 4,000 words, 600 words. It doesn't matter because I'm writing every single day and I'm getting the work done. That's actually how I finished 4,000 words in less than 10 hours. I was exhausted afterwards, but I got it done. That is my new reader magnet for my Urban Fantasy Detective series. Churned that out because that document was up and it was sitting there and I was staring at it. And I also made some good choices, I must admit. I pulled myself together and I was like, oh no, I'm only 1,000 words away from finishing this reader magnet. I'm gonna sit my butt down and do it. But I hadn't realized that I wrote 3,000 words already because it was like 7 hours in. And it was just throughout the day, just chilling, just doing whatever. But yeah, wrote 4,000 words. I added a bit more to that, like 200, but then I cut back down. So I think it's like at 4,100 words at this point with the editor. Don't know how that's going to turn out, but done. Always celebrate your wins, people. Always celebrate them. Number 2 is join writing sprints with other people. I'd go for 30 minutes max. But that's also just me. I can't do 30-minute writing sprints. Because I'll look at the timer. I'm just like, why is it so long? And then I get distracted. I would say find a writing sprint between 15 and 25 minutes. Or, I mean, if you're totally okay with 30 minutes, and then a break in between. They always do breaks in between, but if you're okay with 30 minutes, that's totally fine. I can't do 30 minutes. I'm really great at 15. My max is 25. But I do recommend, because this is, there's 2 Authortubers that do writing sprints. One of them is Emma Bennett. I'll link her down below. And the other is SD Hudson. I'll also link her down below. Just feel out whichever, you want to go with, or you can do both. I've done both. I usually hang out with Emma when she does her writing sprints. And that also tie into another point, but I just want to say get into the habit of doing these writing sprints with these author tubers that could also turn into friends. Perfect. The friendship might bloom, it might not bloom. And you just, you're just trying to find that positivity, and that also trying to get into the habit of writing. And it helps when you have accountability with someone that is doing this stream for free, basically, because they're also trying to have accountability and finish their books and all of that. So it's a symbiotic relationship, and I think that it is really important to at least try out writing sprints. Even if you don't have ADD or ADHD, I think writing sprints are really great. Number 3, three. Look at me not knowing between 2 and 3 on my fingers. Number 3, write on a tablet, in a physical notebook, on your phone, or you can voice record. And by doing that, that means you can be anywhere, not just at your desk or around a laptop. So you have these ideas, randomly coming into your brain, and then you need to pause for a little bit, for a few seconds, for a minute, for 5 minutes, and write it down or speak it through your phone or whatever recording device that you have. But at least you have something, instead of you're gonna forget about it. I know you are. I'm gonna forget about it. You're gonna forget about it. We're all in the forgetfulness mindset together, but that's gonna be fixed if you write it down or you talk it out somewhere on whatever device you choose. Device or notebook. Well, a notebook's a device, right? I'm just gonna go with that because I'm not gonna think about that deeply. Number 4, write or talk into a device while walking around. Now, you do see businessmen doing this, and businesswomen as well, but usually they're talking, like doing memos or something like that. However, doesn't matter. It works. Walking, getting in that exercise, and you're also being productive with your writing. And, I did this with one student who had severe ADHD quite a few years ago with his homework, and he was alone because he was like homeschooled, and so he would just walk around the center over and over again, and he would be holding his writing, and he would read out the reading prompts out loud, and then he had a pencil, and then he would read out the questions and the answers afterwards, and then we'd talk it out while I was sitting down. I'm not that ADD, but and that's what he did, and that's what helped him get better grades and to remember what he read out loud, because you are doing 2 things at once. But walking is pretty damn simple for someone that can walk, that is able-bodied. So, and he also played sports. He just needs to constantly be going, and sometimes you're like that as well. When I was in high school, there was this one kid that could not sit down. He had extreme ADHD. He also did not know how to stop talking, even though he was really medicated, and that was really hard for him. But once he got a job, and then he got a job in construction, it got better because he is actively moving and doing things instead of sitting down and not being able to let out that energy. Last but not least, and it's connected to number 2, but number 5 is set up a daily writing schedule. Now, maybe you can't do daily, so maybe it's 3 times a week or something like that. If it's hard for you to do that, and not just if you have ADD or ADHD, most adults have problems with this, of setting up a schedule, even though you need to do something. It's just hard. But it takes about 2 weeks to form a habit and about 3 months to break that habit. So we want to get into a positive habit of writing however much you can. And if you have tried and you can't do that on your own, then writing sprints are where it's at. Because I know for Emma, okay, 99% sure, that she does her writing sprints 3 days minimum a week, and it's about 3 hours. I don't join the full 3 hours. And that's totally okay. If you can only do 1 or 2 hours, that's fine. If you can only join even for 45 minutes, that's fine. You just need to get into some type of habit and have some type of accountability. And that's where, if you can't seem to do that on your own, which is perfectly fine, also pretty normal, pretty average, pretty common. You're average, it's okay. I'm average too, it's fine. Then writing sprints with an Authortuber is where it's at. Or you can, if you're a writer and you know some Authortubers or other authors, doesn't have to be on YouTube, that have like a Discord channel and they have writing sprints of which you can set up on Discord, then do that. But so it doesn't have to be YouTube, it can also be on Discord. Or, you know, I don't know how popular this is anymore, but it used to be popular where there would be writers that would go to the local library or someone's house or a park, something, and then they would get together and they would do writing sprints, and then they would do like writing critiques as well. So that's another option if you can figure that out. I don't know because of COVID if that's popular anymore, or maybe it is. It's not popular where I am. Okay, so I gotta stick with the YouTube writing sprints, but that is, I think, fantastic because for a long time, most of human history, there was no such thing as the internet or YouTube, so you kind of had to figure that out on your own. And if you weren't invited, or you were invited and then you got kicked out for some reason, you were on your own. But now you don't have to be alone. I know that ADD and ADHD can be a little lonesome, especially if the other people don't have it and you're like, you're jumping off the walls, or you can't stay on one particular topic and people are like, what's going on with you? But now it's easier, definitely easier, to find a place to settle in and go for it. Go for it. Do also check out Emma Bennett or SD Hudson or both. And if that doesn't work out, I'm sure you can, you know, Google it. Go Google it. Thank you so much for watching my writing tips, 5 to be exact, on how to write more productively if you have ADD or ADHD. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great writing day. See you later.